COVID-19 is making economic issues even worse for many people, exacerbating problems that already existed. That's part of the data released today in the 2020 Houston area survey. Jason Miles has more.
The survey was done before the worst of COVID-19 hit, and traffic remained the top concern for most Houstonians. The economy was second, but that could easily change thanks to the pandemic.
Thousands have been fed thanks to grocery giveaways like this amid the COVID-19 crisis.
Doing the best I can with the little I got.
The pandemic only made matters worse for many of our neighbors. That's no surprise. But the newest Houston area survey by Rice University's Kinder Institute for Urban Research sheds light on how badly.
Houston is moving into a tremendously challenging period.
Founding director Stephen Kleinberg detailed the findings today during a virtual presentation. And while traffic was the #1 concern pre-pandemic, as always, that could very well change since so many were struggling financially.
39% of everybody participating in our surveys last year said they could not come up with $400. 40% living really on the brink within a very small amount of money of economic catastrophe.
Again, that's before COVID-19's impact. And the survey shows a deep disparity along socioeconomic and ethnic lines, much in the way the virus itself has affected different groups.
What the coronavirus has reminded us of and laid bare is how much these inequalities are tied in to ethnic composition, ethnic diversity, and ethnic backgrounds.
On a more positive note, 69% of people had favorable views of local job opportunities in the 2020 survey. But that's something else likely to dramatically change between now and the next survey.
The survey covers a wide range of topics, much more than I can get to right here, but you can read it for yourself on khou.com. For now, we'll send it back to you.